Hey, what's up guys? My name is Red and this is Stone Fox Designs. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to take an image like this and turn it into something like this using Photoshop. In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about layering photos using blending options and masking. These are two very important techniques in Photoshop to get the most out of each image. Now, I do use Camera Raw, but you can use this technique if you're only using JPEG. Now, I do highly recommend to use a tripod to keep your camera as stable as possible, but I have seen people set their camera down on the ground or whatever surface area they could to take multiple images. The idea here is to have images close enough together that you can then manually align them. As you can see here, I have two images from a photo shoot with this BMW. If you go down below in the description, I left you guys a link so that you guys can download all the full resolution photos from my website. As you can see here, I've already brought my images in and processed them through Camera Raw. If you don't already shoot Camera Raw, I highly encourage you to look into that. I'm going to be making a video real soon about Camera Raw and JPEG. If you want to watch that and you're watching this in the future, it'll be right here. Here you can see that I have one image where the background and the top of the car are really dark on top of this foreground being hidden in some shadows. In the second layer, you can see it's much brighter, but this background is all covered up by the lights. So what we're gonna do is take the moving selection tool and bring this into our first layer. Now that we have both the layers in one canvas, we can line them up by taking the opacity down to 50% on the top layer. And now you just wanna see where some of the reference points line up. Here in these images, a really good reference point is using these light poles so that you can get one axis aligned, and then now you only have to move it up and down to get your alignment correctly. We're gonna zoom into this front wheel here, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I look for when I'm aligning cars. This logo down here on the wheel, this crease going into the headlight, and there's some nice lines with this orange. And I'll show you here, if you're off center, then it will look like double vision, a little blurry, you know, but get that nicely lined up and everything clears up all of a sudden. We're gonna hit Command 0 to make sure we're zoomed out on this image, and now we can bring the opacity back up to 100%. Now that we have both our layers in here and lined up, we can change our blending mode. You might be asking yourself, what is a blending mode? This is a format that Photoshop will use to process images. It lets you have so much creative ability with layering photos on top of each other. If you come up here to our blending options, you can go through each one and find out for yourself what each does. But to speed up this process, I really like using lighten and multiply. Between these two options, you'll be able to brighten up and darken any area of the image that you need, letting you control the shadows of your images. So for this instance, we're going to use lighten. And what lighten does is going to let through all the brightest parts of the image while not letting the darkest parts affect the rest of the image. We're going to come down to the bottom of our layers tab and add a layers mask to our top layer. When you're using masking, it's just like masking in real life. When you're painting a house or painting a car, there may be certain areas that you don't want to paint. And what you do is take those areas off. Well, in Photoshop, there's a digital representation for this, and that is masking. When you are painting and you're masking, Using black, 100% black, is just like taking a certain area off so that you cannot see that layer. Now, when you paint with 100% white, that is cutting out that masking, peeling it off, and so that you can see what's underneath. Now, the really cool thing about how Photoshop does this is it's not just a black and white scenario like it is with tape. You can have a soft edge to blend things together, but not only that, if you have something in between black and white, like 50% gray, what you'll get is like an opacity change to this image. So if you were to paint over the whole layers mask with a 50% gray, it would be the same as if you brought your opacity down to 50%. If you layer the whole masking layer in black, it's like you brought opacity down to 0%. Since we have it in white here, this is the only layer that we can see. But like I said, I want to get rid of these white lights in the background. So we're gonna hit B to get our brush. You can use your brackets to change the size of your brush, and you want to make sure that you're selected on a black color. Making sure that you are selected on your layer mask, now you can start painting away. So with this, we can pretty easily come through here and clean this image up. I'm gonna hit B to get my brush, and then I'm gonna make sure that I'm selected on a black color. I can come in here and start painting away these lights. Now I'm gonna size down my brush using my brackets and start painting in these windows so that we don't have that blue glow. As you can see here on the first layer, we have a mistake here where you can see the light flashed at the camera. So to get rid of this, we're gonna also add a layer mask onto our bottom line. Making sure we're selected on the correct layer mask, we're gonna come out here with a black brush and just paint it away. And now let's look at a before and after. As you can see here, the ground is now nicely lit. On top of that, the top of this car here is nice and glossy, a nice 2 streaks on the front window, and the horizon of the car is looking nice and bright. But we still have that city background, nice and dark. We have these lights going through the city streets. It looks really nice. Now I want you guys to go out and try this on your own. Down below, I have a link to my website where you will be able to download the full resolution of all the photos I took during this photo shoot. This will allow you to play around with a couple different scenarios of lights as well as colored lights. This is a really cool project for you guys to try. Not only this, it's a really cool thing to go try out on your own. If you have a tree or a house, you can also try these techniques on those subjects. If you guys liked today's video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe down below so that you can catch the next video. If you are watching this in the future, I'll leave you a link right here. And thank you guys for watching today's video. Goodbye.